Welcome back to your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Yanks take care of business Wednesday night. Win 8-1 over the White Sox. They pummel them into submission. Yankees are 90-68. They hit the 90 win mark. More importantly, we'll talk about this in a second, the Blue Jays lost 7-1 to the Red Sox, which means, and I predicted on this show, the Yankees would win the AL East. They are currently tied for first place in the AL East for first place. No games back anymore. There's that little line that we all were waiting to see. Yankees and Jays. So we got 4 games left to decide this. I've talked about this before. The Yankees got 1 more game with the White Sox and then 3 with Baltimore. Jays got another one with the Red Sox and then 3 with the Rays. So they advantage the Yankees, but they beat a team they should have beat, and they beat them into submission. Out-homered them, out-hit them 10 hits to their 5 hits. They win 8-1. They get great starting pitching. They took care of business when they needed to. This is huge. This equates from a possible first-round bye. I mean, do you know how huge that is to get your pitching healthy and to be at home the entire playoffs? It's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous. We micromanage this team, and we take, we obviously there are things that they have to work on. We know this. But you got to give credit to Brian Cashman. You got to give credit to Aaron Boone. And God knows that we have been critical of them throughout the year. I think that's taking it lately. I think we're very critical of them. I think just because we have such high expectations coming off the World Series last year. But they've done a phenomenal job. The front office has done a great job. We need to give credit where credit is due. The analytics department, they are first in the AL East. One of the best records in baseball. They're one of the best teams in baseball. They out-homer every other team. They slug more than any other team. These key metrics and stats are some of the most important in baseball. And the Yankees do it, and they do it time and time again. And that whole lineup can hit and hit for power. And it's very impressive, and we need to give credit to the front office and the manager for weathering the storm that is for Steinbrenner owning, for Cashman being the general manager, and for Aaron Boone managing one of the most high-profiled team in North American sports. I mean, they're a national brand, and they caught them. They caught the Jays. They did it, and there's 4 games left. It's not over yet, but just I want to talk a little bit about last game, and then we'll talk a little about going forward. But this game was never a doubt. Fried was absolutely nails. We'll get to him in a second. But Judge hits his 50th home run of the year. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the second. Crushes it to right center field. I believe he leads Major League Baseball, or he's tied in MLB history for 4 seasons with 50 or more home runs, with McGwire, Sosa, asterisk, and then Babe Ruth. It's pretty good. McGwire, Sosa, and Babe Ruth. That's the list. He hit his 50th home run, and he's only the second Yankee to have 450 home run season. It's just him and Babe Ruth. When you're in a category with only you and Babe Ruth, you're doing something right. He has been unbelievable. Now, I don't know if he's going to win the MVP, because I don't know if you saw last night, Cal Raleigh was just incredible. I think he hit his 60th home run and just hit it in the third deck at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. So I don't know if he's going to win it just because Cal Raleigh is having a historic season. But he is certainly deserving to win. Last night, Grisham hit his 34th home run. Trent Grisham, a guy who had, career high home runs of like 15 or 17. He had his 34 home run last night. I mean, absolutely crushed it. And then it's 8-1, bottom of the eighth. Judge hits his second home run of the night, his 51st of the year. Again, right center, even farther this time. Absolutely crushes it. 105.3 off the bat, 400 feet. Just nails it. And then, we move to Fried, which I want to talk about. I've talked about one of the things. There's things we know about this team, and there's things that we worry about. I think what we don't worry about is this team's ability to hit for power, to slug, to score runs. They can do that. They can do that pretty consistently, better than any other team in the major leagues. But I think what's underrated is their starting pitching staff. I think that will be the differentiator in October when you realize how good their starters are and what depth they have there. I've talked about Schlittler, Heel, Rodon, and Fried. Fried was your potential AL Cy Young Award winner in at least the first half, and he cooled off in the second. But you look at Heel start a couple nights ago, you look at Fried start last night, everything is starting to come together for this team. Judge looks healthy. He's hitting for power. The bullpen is solid. You have to credit Brian Cashman for making huge key deadline moves. Bednar at the end of the game, a lockdown, shutdown closer that is the closer. There is no doubt. You are confident with him in high leverage situations. Ryan McMahon at third base, helping out defensively. These are key acquisitions that you have to fill in holes defensively at third base, which you needed. You needed a closer, a solidified closer that is not going to lose his mind or freak out in big-time situations. And Bednar thrives in those moments. And everyone knows he's the closer, and everyone is comfortable with that. Weaver closed last year, and I don't think we ever really thought he was the closer. And I think we're much more comfortable with it now. And when guys know their roles, and other guys on the team know that other guys are solid in their roles, they play better, they relax. And I think it helps the whole bullpen. I think it takes pressure off of Fernando Cruz, Devin Williams, if he pitches, Weaver certainly, Tim Hill, everyone in the bullpen knowing that Bednar's got the ninth. I think that is such a luxury and peace of mind that you can't really quantify, but it really helps this team. And now you have starting pitching coming in to the fold. Fried gives up 1 run in 7 innings last night. He is absolutely incredible. Again, I know these teams aren't very good, but I'm looking at the stuff, and I'm looking at pitch mix, and I'm looking at command. So Fried's changeup last night, 86 to righties, was literally darting down and away like 3 or 4 inches. Then he's mixing in a 94-mile-an-hour cutter that's coming into righties, that's exploding. And the changeup, again, down and away. Guys are just either completely missing it or swinging way out of the zone. And he just had that pitch working last night. That really was his bread and butter pitch. He was throwing so hard last night. Sometimes his changeup was like 90, almost works like a splitter away because it just darts. There's so much seam-shifted wake tailing away from right-handed hitters. And then you can mix it up with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So his stuff looked great. The movement on his pitches was tremendous, which is really important for him. And then when you have that type of velocity, guys aren't going to hit you. And 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. He just shoved. And they took care of business, and they beat a team that they should have beat. And that's right now in the home stretch. That's what you want to see, because they have caught the Blue Jays. Let me repeat, this team that we have just slammed over and over again, rightly so. They've a lot of defensive miscues, and again, a huge stat. We all look at the box score as Yankee fans. No, for the most, they had 1 error, but for the most part, a clean game. I think that's something that we worry about. Errors, base running mistakes, some of the fundamental stuff. But they took care of business last night, and they have tied the Blue Jays for the AL East. So I just want to look at the playoff picture right now. Let's say the Yankees don't like hypothetically, the Yankees don't beat the Jays and they don't get first place in the AL East. Well, then you have Toronto's is first place. You have Seattle second place. The first AL wildcard game is going to be Yankees Red Sox. The Yankees have the 4 seed. Boston has the 5. And the winner of that game will play the Blue Jays. Now, let's say the Yankees do win the AL East. Well, then you swap those. So now Boston goes to Toronto to play the AL wildcard game. The Yankees have get a bye for that AL wildcard series. And then the winner of the Jays and Boston, they're coming to Yankee Stadium. And there's going to be a ton of pressure on them to perform. It is not an easy place to play. Certainly not an easy place to play in October. That is a tremendous advantage. I really, really feel like this team is clicking. They're coming together at the right time, starting pitching, the bullpen, which I was very concerned about, and their offense. And Goldschmidt, a base hit to right field last night, like on an 0-2 pitch. They're just so much more balanced and well-rounded than last year. And I think and with veteran leadership, Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Grisham, I think this really helps the clubhouse. And having guys in the bullpen that you can trust, and having some really, really good starting pitching with guys with electric stuff that when they're on, very few hitters, even some of the best ones, are going to hit if they have command, because every starting pitcher on the Yankees staff has absolutely elite stuff. So if they're locating their pitches and they have command, there are very few hitters that have any chance against their staff. Fried, Rodon, Schlittler, whose stuff is insane, and Heel. So looking forward to tonight's White Sox game. I will be here to recap for you, and I'll ride this roller coaster out. We'll do it together. It'll be exciting. We're definitely getting postseason baseball. Hopefully, we don't play for at least a week and get that 1 seed. But we'll see what happens. I'll be back to recap the White Sox game tonight for you tomorrow. This has been your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Take care. Bye-bye.